Tony D and Little Jones asleep on the sunbeam, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Expat, TV series from Prime about a woman living in Hong Kong. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Heart in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 13, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Okay, so I did a take of this. I wasn't sure if it was a movie or a TV show, so I said, you know what? I should look it up and do this again, because I've seen it in different light. This is a better TV show than it is a movie. So, the premise of the TV show is that the people are living in Hong Kong, and they're, I guess, American. But terrible things happen, and there's lots of drama. First up, I had to warn you that I do not like Nicole Kidman in most roles. I just kind of can't stand her. I think ever since Eyes Wide Shut, I just look at Nicole Kidman and go, ugh. But there's a couple roles I think she's sort of okay. This one, who is this for? And I always ask that, but it's about rich women living in Hong Kong, and it focuses on the women. It's based on a book. But, like, to me, if you're going to do a series about expats, there's a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot of different kinds of expats. From what little I know of expats, there's like a whole community going. Sometimes they're married couples, sometimes it's singles. It's all a bunch of different people. And it should be, in my view, an ensemble cast. Now, they did this based on a book, which is a little more focused. So I'm not sure the book was the way to go for a series, unless it's one giant story arc and then it ends. In which case, yeah, I get it. Essentially, you probably should have made a movie, but essentially what you have then is a 10-hour movie, or however many episodes it is. But here's the big thing. During the course of the trailer, they reveal that Nicole Kidman's is pretty well off, at least in Hong Kong. So they have servants. So one day she goes out with her kids for a walk in an extremely crowded area, but she's got her nanny with her, and the nanny loses the kid, a kid. I think they only have one kid. So, like, then the moment I saw that in the trailer, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what this is about. It's about her trying to find her son. Not really. It seems to be hyper focused on the woman's problems. Like, that just doesn't scan for me. Not in a movie, not in a TV show. Because that dramatic event of her losing her son is so high, yet your character would be hyper focused on that apart from anything else. So would the father. And judging from this trailer, now maybe they're not showing the scenes, but this should be a devastating blow to any group of parents, right? They lose a kid, and it's different if the kid's an adult or a little kid. In this case, it's a little kid. So, you lose a kid after he's grown up. Well, at least he grew up and kind of made his own decisions, depending on how he died. That's somewhat of a mitigating factor. It's still awful, but when a little kid gets kidnapped, that's like a whole level of drama in real life. And in movies, what do we expect? Well, we expect the rest of the show or movie to be hyper-focused on that. This is just not. To me, it treats the kidnapping of her child like, oh, that's just one obstacle she has to overcome. She's getting bored with Hong Kong, and, she's arguing with her husband. Her kid's been kidnapped. Maybe she didn't get the right parking space. The latte she got at the cafe was a little cold. Like, You can't list it like that. That blows away just about any other dramatic moment in the series. Right? Am I wrong on that? So it just seems to have, I was going to say no balance, but it's too much balance. Like, that can't be in a list of things. That is not, it's not like, yeah, these terrible things happened to me and one of them was my son being kidnapped. No, 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 no. That is the thing. That is the thing. Unless you're trying to portray a character that's so checked out on her life, like, even that doesn't really impact her. But somebody would be concerned. The father seems even less concerned than her. And she's sort of, like, at first, in the beginning of the trailer, she's like, yeah, don't you ever miss home? Then her son gets kidnapped. And I'm not sure of the time frame in the book or in the show here, but it doesn't seem like that long a time period. And the husband is like, well, maybe we should go. Go? Dude, your son's been kidnapped. Now, maybe it's not your son. I'm pretty sure it is. But maybe it's not his. That's still pretty damn cold for your wife. If it's her son, yeah, let him go. We'll have more kids. I'll buy you a kid. Like, what is this? And again, it's about rich women. Granted, women like soap opera things, usually involving women and the various problems, but this seems like it's going to skew the problem, or it should skew the problems all the way to the kid, and then, like, the rest of her problems should be all the way over here, like, well, those don't really matter now, do they? Am I wrong on that? I mean, I'm dealing with a similar situation in something I just wrote, and I realized, oh, this is kind of a big event. I should go back and kind of examine that a little further. I shouldn't just dismiss it. Although I tend to write comedies, so you can dismiss things that are very important, because sometimes that's very funny when you do it. But in a drama where everything's supposed to be grounded in reality, yeah, I don't see that scanning, unless you're just, are you trying to make us used to the idea? Yeah, you'll have kids, but a couple of them will go missing. Happens. Kids. Yeah, I don't think people really get over that. They just never get over it. It's too big. You're going to put in the kidnapping of a child and kind of just throw it out there like, yeah, a lot of bad stuff happened to me today. My haircut was bad. I had a piece of toast that cut the inside of my mouth. My son's missing. I had to fire the nanny that lost him. I mean, a lot of stress today. You can't put it in like that. It has to be some care here. Now, maybe this is a disservice to the book. Maybe the book does much better on that. Because I wouldn't put it past Prime and Amazon, no offense, to hire people who are completely incompetent at their jobs, because I've seen the Rings of Power. But and I voted this down, by the way. This is my second take, because it's just awful to me. It's like one of the worst things I've ever seen. I don't know what the audience is. It's definitely not me. And it seems like such a shame, because the idea of expats living in a foreign country seems like it would be rich with drama. And it should be more of an ensemble cast. It kind of is. It's like Nicole Kidman, and then her other ritzy friend. Her husband is like cheating on her, I think. So, okay, you need about 2 or 3 more women then in this mix. You can't make it hyper-focused on Nicole Kidman's character. I know she's Nicole Kidman, but that's not the kind of show it should be. Maybe that's the way the book rolls. I don't know. But, yeah. A misfire. Serious misfire here, I think. So, Expat, I guess, is at Prime now. Let's read the write-up. Set against the complex tapestry of Hong Kong's residents, Expat depicts a multifaceted group of women after a single encounter sets off a chain of life-altering events that leaves everyone navigating an intricate balance between blame and accountability. How could you not mention the son being kidnapped in that synopsis? How can you throw it in again? Like, you're kind of glossing over the headline here. You're burying the lead, as they say. It's just nuts. Also, too, a huge distinction would be whether this is the Hong Kong of, say, prior to the communist takeover, or the Hong Kong of today. So the time period is a huge factor in my view, because the communist Chinese, I don't know, what would they do if Americans showed up and said, hey, my son's missing? Laugh at you? I mean, I don't know how they react to that kind of stuff. And I don't know how many Americans are actually in Hong Kong still. I mean, is the expat community thriving, or are people getting out of Dodge? Is that part of the show? Again, it's based on a book, so the book didn't come out yesterday, I assume. So it's a bestseller. Probably came out at least 4 or 5 years ago. That's still not far enough back, but it could have come out in 98. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be the 90s, though, from the technology. A little hard to tell. I didn't see any phones or cars. Yeah. I mean, people aren't on their phones in this scene, so maybe that's an indication it is in the past, but still. It's still my analysis stands, I think. This is too big of an event just to gloss over. Now, Nicole Kidman's character's not glossing over it, but the show itself is kind of glossing over it, because it's focusing on other things. Like, again, it's no big deal. So, like, they focus partly on the nanny, and she's like the idea is like, well, you gotta, yeah, I lost a kid, I'll never forgive myself. You gotta move on. Seems like something like that would haunt you, on multiple levels. I don't know, man. This just is not for me, I guess. Maybe it's for you. If it is, it's on Prime, and it's drama. But I voted it down. Yeah, not good in my view. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan asleep in the sunbeam. Thanks for tuning in. If you would like to see more, check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more based takes. If you can find a more based take, I'll say take it. I will be on RVN TV tomorrow, although the show I don't think is airing. I have to talk to the technical guy about what it actually airs on. But it'll be on the internet. I'll have a link. So it should be cool. All right. We'll see you in the next one.